My name is Frank Johnson.
And I'm Abraham Lawrence.
And I'm Nick Seaman.
And our goal here is to describe for you the movie that is going on in our head when we read the Bible.
And let me tell you something. What a movie is going on in my head right now in this story. Oh, my goodness.
Hollywood has nothing on this plot.
Nothing at all.
It's one of the coolest plots ever. And if we didn't already know the story and it was written, you'd say, I didn't see that coming.
Well, I'd say one thing, and then I'm going to let you get into it, and I'm going to start it off with a little levity. If I'm casting this movie, I'm going to have...
Brad Pitt?
Nope, I'm going to have Phyllis Diller as Leah.
Well, certainly not Rachel. We'll have Rachel from Friends play Rachel.
Phyllis Diller would definitely be Leah. Because that will be a surprise when you take that veil off.
And we all know Laban's Dom DeLuise. Come on now.
Oh, my goodness.
Him and his Dom DeLuise.
Or Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
Either one of those two.
That'd be a good one.
Mel Brooks. I'm waiting 7 years for this.
All right, so we're in Genesis chapter 29. If you're reading along with us, we're going to pick the story up in verse 21. Jacob has already worked 7 years. It's gone by just as a few days. Man, the day is here. It's time for my wedding. And Jacob says to Laban, give me my wife, for my time is completed, that I may go into her. I am so excited. Thank you very much. You think there was hooping and hollering and weeping just from the kiss? Can you even imagine what that bedroom sounded like that night, right?
Oh, man.
Verse 22. So Laban gathered all the men of the place and made a feast. You know, Laban got a bunch of guys together because when Jacob jumps him the next morning, he wants to have some bodyguards there. He don't want to be alone with Jacob in the room the next morning, right? No. That ain't happening. So in the evening, he took his daughter who? Leah, and he brought her to him. And Jacob went into her because he didn't have any. He has no clue. He is so excited about getting with Rachel. He's not even thinking that this could even possibly be Leah. But you know, one thing you got to say, though, Abe, I don't care what you say about their body types or whatever. Their body type had to be pretty close to the same, right? I mean, he looked like, Rachel, you gained a couple pounds there, bro.
It has been 7 years, but...
It has been... When was the last time I saw you? Oh, my goodness.
But before we get into
I knew you were going to do that.
Before we get into any of that, you know, they're having this feast. Mm-hmm. So it just says he gathers men together and they're, you know, preparing all of this. So where is Jacob's people? Is his mom not there?
Of course not.
You know, so...
He went to the east. He's all by himself.
Yeah, but how are you going to have a wedding and your family ain't even there?
That's the cool thing, though. You know, really, when you study these things, they didn't have a wedding. He just says, give me my wife. I mean, I've worked for him. And so what they do is they have a feast. So they have a big meal.
Yeah.
And then they go in and they consummate the marriage for, I think, what is it, about a week? What is it, Professor? What do they do? Because I know it's like a whole month they don't do any work.
Yeah, something like their honeymoon's like 30 a long time, basically. Or something like that.
But I think for the week they don't even leave the tent.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. In fact, we're actually going to read that later. We're actually going to figure this out. It's actually in Scripture.
Okay, good.
Laban gathered all the men. All right, so verse 23, the evening he took his daughter Leah, brought her. And so verse 24, Laban also gave his maid Zilpah to his daughter Leah as a maid. So I don't know if this all happened that very night. I'm assuming not. But over time, just so we know, Zilpah now is the handmaiden of Leah. Mm-hmm. So these names are all important, and we'll find out.
Which I think later. New wives always got themselves a maid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wasn't it Bilpah is the name of the other one, too? I didn't want to get
like... It did start with the B.
Bilhah. It's Bilhah. It's down in verse 29, Bilhah. And I taught my students once how you remember which one's Zilpah and which one's Bilhah, because Z is the last letter in our alphabet, so that's the first one that he got, Zilpah, and then Bilhah is the other one, yeah. So anyway, verse 25. So it came about in the morning that, behold, it was Leah. And in the NASB, we have an exclamation mark after that. What's it say in the King James, Abe?
There's just a semicolon.
Next morning. Just a semicolon. All right. Where am I at?
He said to Laban.
What verse?
You're still on 25.
I'm in the middle of the verse.
Yeah.
He said to Laban, "What is this that you've done to me? Was it not for Rachel that I served with you? Why then have you deceived me?" But Laban, being Laban, and being a relative of Jacob, or Jacob being a relative of Laban,
flesh of flesh, bone of bone.
well, I put these little lamb skins on my arms, and I put some smelly clothes on, and you thought, oh, wait a minute, that's the wrong story. That was Jacob.
I
was
see what
Jacob.
you did there.
Yeah.
I
And
see
I thought
what
the
you did
tender
there.
eyes were bad.
Laban said, "It is not the practice in our place to marry off the younger before the firstborn. Complete the week of this one." He doesn't even call her by her name. Complete the
You
week
can have
with
this
this
one too if you're weak.
Yeah. And we will give you the other also for the service which you shall serve with me for another 7 years.
And this is the crazy part. He does it. He does it.
Well, of course, he wants Rachel that bad.
Man, I'm
the cool
telling
thing,
you.
though, is he gets her at the end of the week. So it's not like he has to wait another 7 years. I'm pretty sure Laban even knew that if I make him wait another 7 years, he'll leave.
Yeah.
And liable to burn my flock down as he leaves.
Yep.
Yeah. You sold your birthright. Yeah, that kind of thing. So, yeah. But anyway, so he gives him Rachel at the end of the week. How about that? And there's another week with her. How does this make Leah feel?
Probably not.
Put yourself in Leah's shoes
Oh, yeah.
right now.
Oh, yeah.
What in the world? First off, Daddy has to deceive a guy just to get me married.
And I'm wondering when he gave her, if there's any of her is like, yeah, I want a husband, and this would be a great husband, or if she's just like feels like part of the, part of the scheme.
So just like Nick was saying, just think that he's probably telling her that all of this is for her, and actually it's really about Rachel. It's about Rachel.
Yeah.
But he's telling her, we're putting up this big fuss for you, blah, 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 just so she could be, wow, even though I'm tender-eyed, somebody really does want to marry me.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know?
Yeah, who knows what Laban told her.
Yeah.
yeah.
She gets all, yeah. And then the next morning,
This guy wakes up and he's like, what are you doing here?
oh my goodness, I can't even imagine that scene really if I'm Leah.
Yeah.
She's got to want to be covered up and just want to go away and just
yeah.
man, what
It
in
was
the
like
world?
garbage.
Yeah, I'm going to spend 6 more nights with this guy. Yep. Laban said you got to finish
And then
the week.
right after that,
You got to finish the week with this one. And then
Man, all I'm going to say.
That's what he
you're
said.
gonna have 100% completion, and then you can have the other one.
I want certification.
I'm just going to let this one
Here's
rock. I'm not even
Here's your
going.
papers,
not-
day owner.
I'm not even going on this one. I'm not going to go in on this one.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to just.
You're going to stay above this phrase.
Yes, I have to.
Laban said it's not our practice. See, you got to take the older one first, but you can have the younger one. Just complete the week. And so Jacob did so. Verse 28. He completed her week, and he gave him his daughter Rachel as his wife. Laban also gave his maid Bilhah to his daughter Rachel as her maid. So now we have Rachel, and we have Leah, and we have Zilpah, and we have Bilhah. And Jacob went into Rachel also, and indeed he loved Rachel more than Leah, and he served with Laban for another 7 years. That's the end of a Thursday, right? Thursday? I don't even know if I said what it was. Episode 134 is in the can, baby.
Yes, it is.
July the 13th.
Wow.
Have a great day today. We'll see you all tomorrow.